Om Shanti. We will begin today's manthan by reading the blessing that Baba has given today. In the blessing today, Baba says, "May you be greatly fortunate and make your stage free from sinful thoughts by stopping your fast flow of wasteful thoughts in a second." And the explanation is, if you make a mistake, then after making it, do not waste your time in thinking about why, what, how, not like this. For the time you spend in being an embodiment of those thoughts, you are putting stains on top of stains. The time of taking a paper is less, but the sanskar of having wasteful thoughts increases the time of taking the paper. Therefore, with transformation power, stop your fast flow of wasteful thoughts in a second, and your stage will become free from sinful thoughts. When this sanskar emerges, you will then be called a greatly fortunate soul. Now, first, in the blessing, I want to point out that Baba says, if you make a mistake, okay, so the soul is aware that a mistake was made. Baba is not saying that you don't be aware that you made a mistake. Yes, so, and I'm pointing this out I'm underlining this because these days I also talked about being egoless and shameless are not the same thing. So sometimes, when there is a mistake and you don't even consider it a mistake, that's not Baba's knowledge. Wherever there is, so we must understand that when a soul does something that doesn't suit its dignity, that's a mistake. So I should know that a mistake was made, and in my observation, there are many people who don't realize that a mistake was made. And that's not a good place to be in, because if my drishti, if my words, if my actions have been out of place, they are not in sync with Baba's Srimad, I must know that there is a mistake, and according to the law of karma, I will have to pay for it. So a mistake should be recognized first. And then Baba says, don't go into why, what, how, not like that. Okay, so you see that today I want to talk about the understanding the problem and working on the solution are two different things. Yes, they are two different things. And then there is another thing which says that understanding the problem is also a matter of being in a knowledgeful stage. Because, see, if there is a physical illness and you just, based on the symptoms, you try to determine what is the problem. So, sometimes, let's say a very simple example. Somebody is catching cold all the time. Yes, so you think that they shouldn't be exposed to weather. They shouldn't be exposed to the external environment. But that's not how you analyze a problem. They will be exposed to different weather and still they shouldn't catch a cold, and that's not natural to catch a cold whenever you are exposed to weather. So the problem is deeper. The problem is lack of physical resilience. So sometimes, a surface inspection of the problem doesn't give you a good idea of the problem. So first thing is, every physical problem has a spiritual reason. Okay, and only Gyan tells us what that spiritual reason is. But again, knowing the reason and working on the solution are two different things. So first thing is, the way in which we have been conventionally analyzing things after a mistake is very erroneous and it's not giving good results. So what are the conventional ways in which we respond when we make a mistake? So we either blame or we go into guilt. So whenever there is a mistake, so you start analyzing why, what, how, and then you figure out some person, some situation, some behavior, yes, some circumstance which you think is responsible for the situation, and then you start blaming it. This was the first level of interpretation we had. And then in Gyan, we do the next thing, which is equally wrong, which is you start finding fault with your own sanskar and your own personality and why you made that mistake. So it is either blame or guilt. And I have seen that in this journey with Baba, blame shifts to guilt. So earlier it was more blame, less guilt, and now it is less blame, more guilt. Yes, so you start blaming yourself and then blaming your impurity and your impure sanskars and this and that. But the thing is, you are the one who has to find a solution to it. You are the one who has to correct the mistake. And to correct the mistake, you have to be in powerful consciousness. So, the one who has to find a solution has to be in a very powerful and elevated state. And if I am in guilt, I'm not in that powerful, elevated state to draw power from Baba and correct my actions or charge the environment or give what the soul in front of me needs. So Baba says, only when you stop blaming the other person or stop blaming yourself, then you will come to a place where you are in Swaman and you are able to connect with Baba, find the solution. Solution is not physical. Solution is always hidden in your state of the soul, yes, state of being. So when you vibrate at a different frequency, then other things will also start vibrating differently. And then Baba says, when you want to figure out why is everything happening the way it is, there is only one answer: drama. Yes, so it is what it is. And this drama is it is what it is, and at the moment it is supposed to be that way. But Baba is giving us the knowledge and the power to shift from this scene to the next scene. And Baba is giving us the power to bring about the shift in the scene, in the drama. And I am the one who has to do that. And if I keep thinking about the present scene, then how will I create the future scene? Yes. So you can either stay stuck in the present, or you can be connected with Baba and create the future. You cannot do both. You cannot worry about the present or get hurt in the present and draw power and create the future. Both things are not possible at once. So it's very important that I use the power to transform, and I put a full stop to the current thought and then stabilize myself in soul consciousness and draw power from Baba to shift my sanskar or the sansar, whatever. Yes. So blaming the sansar or blaming my sanskar is not going to help. What's going to help is doing the needful to create a better world. And doing the needful requires swaman. You cannot be in low consciousness and create a new world. So it requires very high self-esteem. It requires, this belief and faith that I am the child of the Almighty. And Baba says that when you are in blame and guilt, then you have very fast thoughts. So, there is, the psychology says that the flow of negative thoughts is very, very fast. So negative thoughts come like a sledgehammer, and then they just strike you, and then you keep thinking and thinking and thinking. But Baba says, and you have to stop that and then transform and come to a place where you are able to stabilize yourself in your self-esteem, in your esteem as a soul, as a child of Baba, and see things as they are. So, disconnect, unplug from the limited to the unlimited. So in the limited space, it looks like this person did that, or I did this wrong thing or that wrong thing. But the true problem is that we are in Kali Yuga and we have all lost energy. Yes, we have lost all energy. And then until I recharge, I will not be able to uplift another person with the support of my energy also. So Baba says, then look at the solution. And you are a fortunate soul only when you are able to do that. Otherwise, and I tell you, even before Gyan, I used to read a lot of stuff, and many people in the world are giving a lot of idea about what the problem is. So people know that expectation is the problem. People know that anger is the problem. People know that, non-acceptance, judgment is the problem. Intolerance is the problem. People know all that. But then what they don't know is that all this has its root in body consciousness. And all this has its root in impurity. And that's also figuring out the problem, but the genuine problem. Yes. So A is, when you blame yourself or the other, you are only talking about the way people look at problem conventionally. But then spiritually, if you look at it, then you figure out that the problem is much deeper. The problem is impurity. The problem is body consciousness. But even when you figure that out, it requires a solution. Yes, saying that the world is impure and I am impure and we are all body conscious and that's why the problem arises is not enough, because we are still at the level of knowing the problem. But what about the solution? So today Baba in the Murli says something very, very nice. Baba says that you think that God can do anything and he comes to, relieve people of their illness or sort certain things out for them. But I don't do that. I give you the knowledge and the method to become pure. I give you the knowledge and the method to become pure. And it's very interesting. Baba says today, which business of the Almighty Father is not the business of human beings? Baba says, to make impure souls pure and to make the whole world new is the business of the Father alone. The Father alone gives you the power to become pure. Human beings cannot carry out this business. Human beings think God can do whatever He wants and He can even cure their illnesses. Baba says, I do not give such blessings. Note, Baba doesn't say, I cannot do that. Baba says, I do not give these blessings. I simply give you the method to use to become pure. Yes, why? Because Baba knows that even if he gave these blessings won't be enough. Yes. So if you don't find the real solution, then temporary solution won't work. Yes. So if somebody is ill today, or has a relationship issue tomorrow, or has a financial issue the third day, it's all related to the whole karmic journey. And until we absolve our sins, until we embrace complete purity, these short-term solutions won't give us much respite. Yes, and I tell you one thing. So there is this brother and he came, and when he came to the center, he and his spouse were going through some relationship issues, and then there was a lot of upheaval at home. And then he told me, Didi, I just want things to get better. So I said, okay, you can try. So you just, okay, you can ask Baba for it if you want. I know that it doesn't work like that, but then still, if you are so adamant about it, you can tell Baba. And then, things got better. And then he said, Didi, I'm very thankful and I'm not very interested in the knowledge and the course, but I'm happy that I came to Baba, and in Baba's house I got this blessing. And I said, okay, good for you. If it worked for you, good for you, good for me, no problem. So he left. And then some days later he came and he said, Didi, you see, things at home are sorted now, but in the office things are not okay. So is it possible that my problem shifted from home to office? So is it possible that I had a problem at home and then I asked Baba and then he shifted it to the office? Is it possible? So I said, okay, so what is your actual question? So he said, Didi, can we reverse it? Because finance is a bigger problem than relationships. So why don't you reverse it? Ask Baba to just reverse it and let my office work well and my money flow well. And even if my wife goes home, I don't mind. So, so you see that this is not how it works. So you cannot, and you see that Baba says, a person cannot be satisfied with these temporary solutions. And I'm also asked, I also gave you an example of how bizarre the mind works. So, even if you got something which went okay, the next time you have a problem, you think that maybe the first thing shifted to the next and this and that. And then you go and say that, okay, my first problem was better than the second problem. So give back my first problem. I'll deal with it. Take away the second problem. So Baba says, it doesn't work like this. And there is a very deep-rooted connection with the whole karmic journey. And until we become pure and create a pure and new world, things will just shift from one form to another. They will not go away because the real problem has not gone away. So the symptoms will keep changing, but then there cannot be true happiness and peace. So Baba says, I do not give you these blessings. I teach you the method to be pure, and I give you the power to be pure. And there is a law which says smriti se samarthi. So when you are reminded of, so when you are in smriti, when you are in awareness, so awareness gives you power. So smriti se samarthi means awareness gives you power. And awareness about what? Awareness about the fact that you are a pure soul in the soul world, and when you come on this stage, 2500 years you are pure. There is no vice. And when you start churning the discus of self-realization, Swadarshan Chakra, you start seeing yourself as that soul who stays in the soul world absolutely bodiless and pure. And then you start seeing yourself as the deity who lives in a family, does work, lives in a society, carries out the role and position and relationship and everything, and still there is no vice. And you start thinking about it and creating that stage. Then that stage within you starts emerging, where you do everything in a pure way. Yes, and then you don't have any lust or anger, or you don't do anything to get something. You express yourself in a pure way in this world drama. So Baba says, I give you the power and I give you the method to be pure. And then the power comes from knowing who you are. Yes, so knowing that you're God's child. And this is why Baba says, keep churning who you are, keep churning who you belong to, and this will help you emerge the qualities of purity within you. And this is meditation. Meditation is remembering your original nature, remembering your father, remembering your home, remembering your original stage as a deity so much that it unlocks, yes, that memory inside you, and you come back to your power of purity. So my father is pure, my original stage is pure, my home is pure, everything about me is pure, but we've forgotten it. And that whole journey as a pure soul is now locked away in my memory somewhere. And when somebody loses memory, what do? You keep making them visit those old places, and then they somehow, they get back their memory. So when you keep making encounter with the old memories, then that memory which has stayed locked in your memory track starts opening up. So Baba says, when you keep visiting through your buddhi, your pure home, pure Baba, your own pure original stage in the soul world and in the deity world, then that memory of purity will re-emerge, and you will again come back to the realization and the capacity of how to operate as a pure soul. Yes, and Baba says today that in the deity world there is no lust, there is no anger, and here there is lust. And in Hindi there is a saying, "Ghoda घास से दोस्ती करेगा तो खाएगा क्या?" So if the horse befriends the, what do you say, its food, then what will it eat? And you know what vices do? They make everybody your lunch. So every body, every emotion, every situation is to be taken advantage of, is to be exploited for your pleasure. So everybody has become ghas for you. So that's what vices do. Vices make everyone and everything an object of your pleasure. And think about how you can have good wishes, because there cannot be friendship, there cannot be good wishes, there cannot be a brotherly attitude for your object of satisfaction, because until they are behaving like an object, it's okay. Then you want your object of pleasure to flourish and thrive and grow. But once they stop being your object of pleasure, you just discard them, or you treat them very badly, or you blame them for not being good enough. So that's how the world is operating. So everyone, everything, every circumstance is an object which has to be taken advantage of. And that's why there is no pure feelings or good wishes. There is only selfish wishes and selfish feelings. And until that selfishness is feeded, you are fine. And I tell you, there is, I will tell you this one thing. So many years ago, there was this one boy and girl, and they had visited our place many years ago, and they said, we are in love with each other and this and that. And then it looked like there's a lot of love, there's a lot of attachment, and it looked like a very promising relationship. And then 4 years later, I saw that boy was handicapped. So that boy was on the bed, and he had broken feet, and he couldn't walk well, and there were problems with the backbone. And then I asked him, so where is that girl? So did you get married or what? I don't have any idea about what happened later. Then he said, no, I met with this accident some 2 years back, and then that girl left me. So I said, but why? So he said, because I was not good enough for her then. So you see that until anybody is able to, fulfill our needs, so everybody is an object, everybody is a resource to be sourced from. And then until they fulfill your need, whether it is emotional, physical, financial, whatever, you have, the love is there, the attachment is there, everything is there. And then when the need is not able to be met, then that whole relationship crumbles. And then obviously you block your energy of love, you withdraw your energy of love, and you keep withdrawing it in several places until you are not capable of even self-love or love for Baba. And this is how the selfish attitude of the world works. And Baba says, just this is not how the world is designed. And Baba says, I created that world, and you are that pure soul where relationships, work, things are not a source of pleasure. They're just there. You live in harmony. You live with everyone and everything. And there is no expectation. You don't see everyone and everything as a source which fulfills you. And you are enough for yourself. And at this time, you are not enough for yourself. So Baba is enough for you. So Baba says, in Satyug, you are enough for yourself, so you can live like a deity. Right now, you are not enough for yourself, and that's a fact. But then Baba is enough for you. So when you are in communion with Baba, then you can behave in a pure manner in the world. And pure means you don't get stuck. Atakna, latakna, chatakna is not there. So you are not attached. You are not stuck anywhere. You are not looking at anybody for fulfillment, but you are living in harmony with souls and with nature, because Baba is filling you enough. And Baba says, right now, make me your world, and I'm enough for you. I guarantee that. And Baba says, I tell you the method to become pure again. And one important aspect of that method is this relationship with Baba. So one thing is Swadarshan Chakra Phirao, which is remember who you were, remember your past, remember your deity stage, remember how you were as a soul in the soul world. And then the second thing is remember Baba. So not just churn the discuss of self-realization only, but also remember Baba, because in this relationship with Baba, you will be filled with whatever you, the soul, need. And then you will not look at others as an object. You will live in harmony with them. Yes, and you will also try to bring them to the realization that they also can become complete in remembrance of Baba and in this relationship with Baba. So this is what Baba is telling us today. And then Baba is talking about predestined drama, and Baba is saying that every soul has a unique part. Baba says the part of each human being is different. A soul is so tiny, and yet a whole part is recorded within him. I too am a soul, but I am called the Supreme. And this knowledge makes us free from blame. So you see that every soul has a prefixed part recorded in them, and they are playing their part. There is nothing to blame in that. So Baba gives us the knowledge of the drama, and Baba tells us that it is prefixed. So you cannot blame anybody for whatever they are doing or whoever they are. That's their prefixed role in drama. And Baba says, it's not because of them that something is happening. It's because of how the drama is designed. And then I'm giving you the solution that now you become pure, you remember Baba, and create and go back to scene one of the drama where everything is happy and peaceful. So Baba says you don't have to first blame and then do something in reaction. You can be very proactive about your karma. Yes, you don't have to be reactive that somebody is doing the wrong thing, so I have to do the right thing. No. Everybody is playing their part and they are all right about it. And my part is to be with Baba and do as he says and create a pure world. So you're not doing it in reaction to somebody. Yes, it's not because other people are bad you are going to be good. No, you're going to be good because you are good. You are Baba's child. And Baba says it has got nothing to do with whether someone is bad or not. If everybody is good also, you have to do your needful. So that's how it works. So without blaming. So, I have seen that sometimes people will say that because everybody is sitting, I have to work. Yes, nobody is working, so I am working. And then they have a lot of ego about that. So Baba says, if you work with this approach that everybody is doing the wrong thing, so I have to do the right thing, then you will become very egoistic about it. So you are not doing something because somebody is doing something else. You are doing it because that's your part in drama. And you're only playing your part and everybody is playing their part. And just think for a moment, why are you listening to Gyan? Why are you doing what you're doing? Because it makes sense to you. That's it. You're not doing anything because of anyone or against anyone or for anyone. You're just playing your part. And you must realize that everything else is just sideshow. What matters is you and Baba, and you keep playing your part and keep, you are in this illusion for 2500 years that I'm playing my role with others. But now Baba breaks that illusion and Baba says that you are not playing your role with anyone or against anyone. You are playing your role, that which is pre-recorded in you, and I am the one who is invoking that which is lying lurking in your memory track, and I'm letting you realize who you really are, and then you play your true colors. You come out in your true colors, and then the world becomes heaven again. So this is what Baba tells us today. And then Baba in the blessing says, become full of the treasure of happiness and all other treasures will automatically come to you. So Baba says, you don't, the only effort you have to make is to not lose your happiness. Yes, and be full of the treasure of happiness. And Baba says, happiness is like, so in Hindi it is said, खुशी जैसी खुराक नहीं. So happiness is like nourishment and nourishment of the soul. And when the body is nourished well, the immunity is good. Yes, and then all the other diseases don't come to you. Similarly, Baba says, when the nourishment of the soul, happiness is good. So when you're full of the treasure of happiness, then all the other illnesses don't come to you and all the good things start coming to you. All the other treasures, whether it's power or peace or everything starts coming to you because you are in good strength, good spiritual nourishment. Okay, so don't lose your happiness. So I think that filling with happiness, Baba is already doing, because every day is Murli, every day remembrance of Baba, every day having gratitude for Baba. Yes, I think that having gratitude for Baba is a very good way of filling yourself with happiness. And reading the Murli, imbibing the points or churning the points of the Murli, remembering Baba, eating pure food, doing good karma, all of that is going to nourish you with happiness. And Baba says, also take care not to lose your happiness, because we lose our happiness at the drop of a hat. Yes, any lame excuse we find and we drop our happiness. So just take care of that And then Baba says, you will never fall short of peace or power or anything, any other quality or any other power. Okay, Om Shanti.